Hi, I'm Jack, and I like video games, and I like SpaceX, and I like rockets, and all other kinds of fun stuff. What is going on here? Why is that zoomed in full screen? Anyway, hi, how are you doing tonight? It is currently 12:40 p.m., or no, 12:40 a.m., excuse me. Oh, okay, 12:40 a.m. here in Austin, Texas. And right now I'm so distracted. I'm so blown away by this because I showed up late for it. There's a rocket launch happening. You can see it right behind me over here. I'm going to narrate it because I'm going to talk about it. So I'm bringing this up. There's going to be a little bit. So I'm dual streaming this thing. I don't know. I'm probably not supposed to, but I'm going to anyway. Oops, wrong button. Sorry. I'm trying to move myself a little bit. I'll put me over here. I'll put me on top of SpaceX. There we go. So what you're looking at right now is the Falcon 9 rocket. It's the Falcon 9 Block 5, which a Falcon 9, that is that's the second stage of it right there. That's actually the payload. I wish I had an explanation. I wish I had something. I'll turn this down. I'll turn it down a little bit so I can kind of explain a little bit. But so basically, the way a rocket works. What do I have? I have a space shuttle. I don't have a rocket though. So the way a rocket works, Falcon 9 works in particular, is it's two stages. It's two stages. There's a smaller stage on top, which is stage 2, and the first stage was just stage 1. So imagine my bottle of water, which is getting cropped because of the green screen. Okay, so you've got two stages. The bottom stage is stage 1, top stage is stage 2. Which that means is they boost together. The first stage pushes the second stage into space, and at a point in the apogee, or towards the top of the sort of the furthest they could push, they disconnect. The second stage then ignites and continues on into outer space, where it pushes the payload, which is on top of the second stage, even further out into space, and then eventually unhooks it. It releases out into space. I think this is the Telstar satellite. Yeah, Telstar is what they're releasing today. And then stage 2 burns up in the atmosphere, basically. Returns to Earth, hits the atmosphere, burns up, lands in the ocean. The cool thing about SpaceX is stage 1, which is the big sort of like when you see a rocket, that the majority of it is stage 1. That's where the big boost is. The SpaceX rocket actually turns around, comes back to where it took off from, and lands. Or, depending on how far it has to push out into space, it will actually go out into space, release its second stage, where that'll keep going, and then it'll kind of follow the parabola, and then land in the ocean on a little like floating platform. It's super, super cool. If you have any questions in chat, feel free to ask. I'm gonna do my damnedest to answer, but yeah, it's gonna be tough because there's gonna be a lot of you guys. You should block SpaceX logo, say it's your own rocket. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna tweet about this though. Watching SpaceX live now. Join us. And then link at then take a photo. Okay, and we'll do this. Oh wait, no, that of course is nothing. There we go. Use photo and send. Okay, so we're T-minus 6 minutes away, which means in 5 minutes and 52 seconds, that rocket is going to take off. So it's kind of hard to see, but like, okay, here we go. I can pause this. So this is the beautiful, beautiful thing of the internet. So right here, everything up to this black part, this is stage 1. So all of this underneath here is stage 1. This right here is the transport erector, which is this basically when the rocket comes out, it comes out flat. They interlock everything horizontally. And then they're all on this little thing here. This rolls out to the pad and then lifts itself upright, and it lifts the whole rocket up. So this is all stage 1. This black bit is called the interstage, which links stage 1 to stage 2. This is actually stage 2 right here. And then the satellite sits up in this area here. And then, so what surrounds the satellite are called the fairings. So the fairings, like imagine my mic, the fairings go around the satellite. And then when it gets up in the atmosphere, when it breaks the atmosphere basically, and it no longer is vibrating or shaking or anything like that, the fairings will then break off, and then it just leaves the satellite because it's just extra weight. The fairings are basically there to prevent the satellite from being hit by debris on its way up. So we're back live again. Don't worry, we're not going to miss this. We're going to be live. You going to play Kerbal after this? I don't know about that. Okay. Oh, so I have some friends right now. out in Florida watching the launch. That's pretty cool. So my friend Lily is out in Cape Canaveral right now watching the launch live. So okay, here I can show you this right here. So right there, this is the building where they assemble the rocket. So it comes in all the different parts, and they assemble it in this building right here. And then you can see they roll it out. So they actually roll it down this pathway here, and then it lifts upright. So this is actually in Vandenberg. Oh, okay. Oh wow. So this is in California. I take it back. This is actually in California. My bad. So this is a California launch, which this is actually the very first time. I think this is a return to launch site. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is a RTLS. Oh, okay, sorry. Katie texted me something. I want to ask him, not related to the rocket, were you basically space kid and camp as a kid? Not really, I'll be honest. I kind of got into space sort of later on in my life. So, but yeah, I'm absolutely fascinated by now. Real quick, if you're watching this live, want to subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/Jack Pattillo. We've got 81,832 of you right now. I'm trying to get up to 100,000 by the end of the year. So thank you very much. There's 327 of you watching. If you guys want to subscribe, that'd be super kick-ass. youtube.com/Jack Pattillo. Okay, let me move my tag is on top of the thing here. Let me move that out of the way for you so you can actually see the counter. That might help a little bit. All right, so we're 3 minutes out. So what right now is happening is about an hour before the rocket launches, they go through a go, no-go check around there. I think it's an hour. Is that 10 minutes? And they do a couple checks multiple times, basically to say whether or not the rocket is good to take off. After about an hour, they say it's good, then they start loading it up with fuel. And so that white smoke you see around, there's nothing bad about that. That white smoke there, that's actually steam where the fuel is being topped off, and it's just basically overfilling the tanks to keep it 100% maxed out. So it's just releasing excess fuel or excess gas and whatnot. It's not harmful for the environment or anything, but you shouldn't be close to it. It does dissipate, though. You can see it kind of dissipating. But it does look super intimidating because it's like, oh, the rocket's on fire. It's like, nope, that's actually steam and other fuels. Cheers for moving the tag. You got it. This is Florida. Oh, this is SLC-40. Sorry, Phantoms. Good call. I was looking. Okay. This is SLC-40. So there's 2 launch pads in Florida. There's 39A, historic 39A, which is where they launched astronauts to the moon, and then 40. This is the Falcon 9 launch pad. 39A is where they launched the Falcon Heavy. So we saw the one that was 3 Falcon 9s. It's called the Falcon 9 because it has 9 boosters on the bottom. That's why it's that way. Falcon Heavy is 3 Falcon 9 tubes strapped together with a payload on top. We'll get into that later. Oh yeah. Also, I moved my cup by accident. Sorry about that. Let me go ahead and put that back, and I'll put that right there so people can see it. Just decided to tweet at you after your tweet popped in my iPod, so that is a tweetception. Last of my bits. Oh, Zach, you got it, man. Check out my pick, please. You got it, Zach. Check the Cyborg Club. Why not put the retro rockets on stage 1 from the top? Oh, I thought I felt something. Why not put the retro rockets for stage 1 at the top for balance during the landing? There actually are there are little fuel things at the top, little like pistons that shoot out air that do correct it. So you'll see them going. Well, once we see it start coming back, I'll show you. We're a minute in, 60 seconds. T-minus 60 seconds means now the rocket has basically taken over. So now no humans controlling the rocket. It's all controlled by the actual computer inside of it. So the Falcon 9 flight computer is taking control of the countdown. So at 1 minute, the computers take over. If they notice anything not nominal, which is like good, then they'll abort the mission. Usually about 10 seconds is where it kind of like last minute, like if nothing's good or if it's not right, then they'll kill it. So we're 20 seconds out. That's a good sign. Fingers crossed. At about 5 seconds, you'll start seeing some popping at the bottom, and then that's when the engines all kind of kick off. Here we go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. That's a good sign. 3, 2, 1. And there we go. There's the ignition right there. There's our smoke clouds. And boom, there goes the Falcon 9 launching out, going out in space. It's cleared the towers, which means it's above the support towers there. That's where lightning will hit. It's a beautiful wide shot of it. And yeah, you can see the violence, how hard that thing is hitting. That's vibration. Those are cameras shaking from that far away. Oh, God, it's so beautiful. I love watching these. So right now, Falcon 9 is ramping up. You can see the kilometers an hour above me, speeding up, speeding up, speeding up. About a little bit over, what is that? About 2 miles up in the air right now. Very, very quickly. So there you go. You can actually see the engines lit up. Of course, it's a night launch. It's a little trickier to see. He copied what I said. He copied. I'm going to turn him down a little bit. So yeah, so you got 9 rockets there. We're coming up on a thing called Max Q, which Max Q is the... so here we go. That's a beautiful shot down the rocket, looking down towards the engines. Max Q is the maximum amount of aerodynamic pressure on the rocket. That's basically where it starts going up. And if it passes Max Q, basically life is good for the rocket. Max Q is the most stress that's going to be put on the rocket at one time. And there you go. It's experiencing it right now. If it makes through experiencing max Q or maximum dynamic pressure, if it passes that, things are pretty good. Things are looking really, really good. I got to move my thing again. Sorry, guys. I'll put it over here. All right, so here we go. Beautiful. This is looking really good. Made it through max Q. So now what's coming up next is you're going to have MECO, which is main engine cutoff, which so you can see the boost right there is all stage 1. The 9 thrusters, the 9 Merlin engines, I think Merlin engines, they're all pushing right now. They're all going to turn off, which is main engine cutoff. So those will all shut off. Then you'll have separation, where stage 1 and stage 2 will disconnect. Then you'll have second engine startup, which is the stage 2 engine kicks off and then goes out into space. And then basically stage 1 will start its turnaround, heading back towards Earth. I don't know. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, this is going to be a one landing on Earth. So we're going to see an actual Earth landing. This is really cool. So the discoloration is because it's at night and they're using night vision cameras or whatever. Here we go. So here's separation. So that's looking towards stage 2 right now. So you'll see it disconnect once the engines turn off. Engine shut off, disconnect. There we go. Engine shut off, disconnect. Here we go. That's stage 2 on the right. Boosh right there. So you can see that stage 2 on the right, which has the satellite top. You can actually see behind it, there's stage... Oh, God, where's my mouse? Back over here with stage 1. So here's stage 1 returning to Earth right now. This is stage 2 lighting up. This is what's going to take the satellite into space. Stage 1, the grid fins are popping up. So these grid fins are basically what move around to help direct the rocket back to land. They're made of titanium. They're very expensive. And then you'll see these little bursts of white smoke, and that's what I was talking about earlier, the sort of directional sort of pistons. It kind of shoots air to rearrange it. So right now it's rotating to basically head back towards Earth, and then it'll have a reentry burn, have a landing burn, or I'll have a boost back burn, reentry burn, and then a landing burn. So the boost back burn, and basically it turns around, faces back towards where it took off, heads back that direction. Reentry burn, it's coming in butt first. It'll basically launch the rocket. Oh, here's the fairings. Okay, so these are the fairings. They're going to break off. Boom, right there. So that was the top of the rocket. If you're looking at the rocket, those are the fairings that cover it. Those broke off of it, and then those right now they're going to float down to Earth. They've been trying to catch them, so we'll see if that actually happens. But they've been doing their damnedest to actually catch the fairings because they're very expensive and hard to produce. But now the satellite is basically sitting on top. Like imagine the head of my mic is the satellite. It's just sitting on top of this second stage, exposed to nothing because it's in space at this point. So nothing's going to rocket around. They get rid of the fairings to make it where it goes faster. So we're up to 10,000 kilometers an hour, which is stupid fast. Right now, stage 1 is returning to Earth. Yeah, so we're excited. I'm excited for that. So right now we're kind of sitting, we're watching stage 2 boost off. Right. Ugh, that was a lot of talking. 4.5 minutes into this, and we're at T plus 4.5 minutes. Oh, I have friends watching it right now. That's super nice. So, anyway, any questions? Zach B, SpaceX should hire you to narrate their launches. I wish, man. That would be fun. I'm afraid I would be too excited, and I would really have to slow myself down. The guys who narrate the launches are awesome. And the cool thing is all the people who work on the streams you'll see, are like if you watch a SpaceX stream, they all work for SpaceX. They're all like employees of SpaceX. They don't do this professionally. Like they just do it for fun. Like to help out the company, which is super awesome. Would you leave RT for SpaceX? I wouldn't leave Rooster Teeth for anything. I love SpaceX. It's fascinating. Phantoms, but I wouldn't leave Rooster Teeth for anything. Honestly, there's no point. Okay, here we go. So there we go. On the left right there, you can see the air piston, or the air kind of like reworking the direction. super dark, so it's kind of hard to see right now. I recommend you watch their previous launches, or there's another launch coming up in a few days. I don't know if it's during the day. There you go. So you can see the white little pit and then the which turn the rocket around. Any flat earthers at Rooster Teeth, DJ Kento? I don't know. I don't think so. But the real CADX and Major Glory as well. Brand new Wardens right there. And Phi Cuckoo, thank you. Brand new Wardens by the power of the Beer Bonnet. Thank you guys. KS Miz, what is the launch doing? Resupply? No, it's actually launching the Telstar satellite. So that is a communication satellite. I think it launches over Europe somewhere. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, this isn't a resupply. They do. SpaceX does resupply missions to the space station, where they send up, food and scientific stuff. And ooh, that's exciting. Okay, so here we go. So this is the entry burn. So on the left there, this is the stage 1 is now returning to Earth, and it's slowing itself down as it goes through the atmosphere because the atmosphere is really, really rough. And so right now it's slowing itself down so it can go through it a little bit easier. It's actually coming butt first towards Earth. So the engines are now pointed towards landing. So it takes off, and then it turns around and then comes back butt first. So our entry burn's done. So now it's slowed itself down a little bit, and now it's going to work its way back towards the landing site. So that's pretty exciting right there. Awesome. Yeah, so you can see right there. Ooh, that's exciting. That looks like freaking future stuff. So that is basically just burning through the atmosphere and just crap spitting off of the rocket as it's coming back towards down towards Earth, which is really, really cool. The Careless Music Guy, thank you very much, Careless Music Guy. Appreciate you by the power of the Beer Rebonded. So they lost the feed for stage 1. Happens. You've got a rocket traveling incredible amounts of speed. Sometimes you lose service. Why are they launching at night? Endless cadenza is because the Earth rotates, and sometimes you need to put a satellite in a certain position, and sometimes you just have to do it at certain times of day. That's what it is. I mean, literally, you just have to launch it. There's certain windows. This one had a 4-hour window, which means they kind of hit it either way. Not sure exactly why they launched at night for this one, since it's a satellite. But in order to get to the right space, the right time, it's all calculated like that. The resupply missions, the space station resupply missions, they have to launch at a instantaneous window, which means they launch. If they can't make that launch, oh, here's the landing. So it's okay. So this is a drone ship. So this is actually landing on the ship. Camera's gonna go down here. You'll see, because now it's vibrating because the rocket is landing on it. See how I get real bright? We're gonna lose feed here in a second. There it goes, and then theoretically it'll come back and there'll be a rocket sitting there. Oh, fingers crossed. So that was a return. That wasn't a return to launch site. That was a landing on a drone ship, which is a floating platform out in the middle of the ocean. So they had to get this one really high. So let's see if we get some feed from the actual drone ship again. Again, that thing's coming down so violently it vibrates everything, and they lose signal every single time they do it. So let's see if they're going to show it. Oh, okay, that's stage 2. So stage 2, it's a second engine cutoff right now, which means the engine on the second stage with the satellite top has stopped. It's now coasting to go to a location, like a certain location out in space, and then it'll turn on again, go even further, and then eventually deploy its satellite. I probably won't stay for the deploy because it's probably going to be about another 30 minutes before that, but I recommend you watch this. I'm just really curious to see if... Oh, there we go! Right there. So that is stage 1, landed on a drone ship in the middle of the ocean, middle of the Atlantic Ocean, right there. 0 Kelvin, thank you very much. That's pretty cool. Again, tough to see at night, but that is a rocket, about a 7-story rocket, that launched from Earth, went into space, and landed on a floating platform the size of about half a football field. The equivalent of that is saying if you took a pencil and threw it over the Empire State Building and landed it on a stamp. That's the equivalent of what they just did. That's incredible, and it blows me away every single freaking time they do that. So, God, I love rockets. I love this. So now they're still... So you can see if you're watching this live right now, okay, my thing kind of cuts it off. But down here is their timeline. So this is everything we're at right now. We're sitting right here under the engine. Excuse me. Second engine startup is over here. So we're a ways away. So this was 10 minutes. So we're looking at probably another 12 minutes or so before the second engine startup, and then another probably 3 or 4 until the deploy of the rocket. So we're probably a good 25 minutes away from that. I probably won't hang out for that, but I do recommend you watch the streams. It's youtube.com/SpaceX. Go over there, subscribe to their channel. It's freaking awesome. Okay. Okay, if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer some questions. Ice Demon 555, 11 months. Hi, how long have you been a rocket fan? I'll say a big rocket fan for maybe about 3 years now, 3 to 4 years. Really kind of my interest in SpaceX when they were trying to land a rocket. I was kind of like, wait, what are these guys doing? And also, SpaceX is based, or they have a location in McGregor, Texas, which is about an hour 20 minutes north of Austin. I used to pass through McGregor on the way to my grandmother's house when we go visit her in Clifton, Texas. And so I was like, wow, there's like a rocket company here in Texas, like testing rockets. I mean, I knew like Carmack's doing it. John Carmack from id Software. He's now got Armadillo Aerospace, which is another rocket company like SpaceX or like Blue Origin. There's a bunch of private companies now that are all kind of popping up. But I was like, wow, this is cool. And so I started paying attention. And then I saw the very first landings. And then I've really been a fan for the last 3 years or so. Zero Kelvin, thank you very much for that. Yeah, okay, by the power of the beard reborn. Appreciate you guys. How did they secure stage 1 of the drone ship to stop it tipping over during rough seas? Goldie, good question. So the drone ship, like I said, is the rocket is sitting on top of it. And there's one of two things. Back in the day, the old way of doing it was they would literally let it cool off until they got the go-ahead to basically go on the ship and then clamp it down into the actual ship. So they would actually drill like these shoes that would sit over the legs and actually pin it to the ship itself. There's some fun times where they actually, some of them came in a little bit rough. So the legs themselves actually have these things called crush cores, which when they land, they have some give to them. So instead of breaking the rocket, there's these honeycomb-shaped things inside where it'll push up against it and actually kind of shrink that down, so it's made to give. But if they give too much, the rocket will then break. So there've been some really sketchy times where rockets came in like tilted, and so no one was allowed to go and secure it. So literally the whole thing was tilted, and they were just waiting for it to fall off the barge. That they never did though, which is cool. But now they actually have a thing. I think it's called Optimus Prime, or no, the Octo Grabber. That's what they call it, the Octo Grabber. It's a flat machine, like it's a robot that is in a garage inside the drone ship. It opens up when a rocket lands and actually goes underneath the rocket and then locks on to the legs. So they built a specific machine that literally clamps onto the legs to secure it to the ground. Also, it's very light. It's very bottom heavy. So imagine, like at this point, when the rocket's gone, so when it starts, this is all fueled up. When it's done, when it lands, there's almost no fuel left. Like they plan it where it lands with almost no fuel in it. And because of that, everything above the engines and the legs are very, very light. So it's all bottom heavy. So it really kind of secures itself. So it won't really tip over very easily. It's very bottom heavy. So that helps out a lot too. Have you ever launched your own model rockets? DJ Kent Alive. I never did. I never got into that. I did the water pressure ones where you get like the water and you push the air in it and then it spits out the water. But I never did do any sort of big ones. How many foot-pounds of torque do these rockets produce? A lot, Sadie Lady. I don't know the specific number. It's all available though. They have it all online. But yeah, the actual amount I'm not sure of off the top of my head. Sorry about that. Orvid King resub for 2 months. It jacks up late. Interesting. Well, I was watching a rocket launch, Orvid. It was awesome. Tech the Cyborg Club. Kerbal. Maybe. I know I need to. I should check it out. Ice Demon 555. I already got that. Okay, Ice Demon. By the power of the beer reborn. Appreciate you guys. I love fireworks too. Fireworks are great. Young. What is the purpose of the satellite? Do you know? It's Telstar, so I imagine it's probably some kind of telecommunication satellite. You see it's the Telstar 19 Vantage satellite. They actually had sort of an explanation of it that I sort of talked over. Where was it? Yeah, here it is. So yeah, here's the actual satellite that just launched into space. So yeah, I'm guessing it's some kind of communication satellite. Typically, that's what these things are. The telecommunications company need a lot of satellites in space, and And so this one, okay, so this launch was a GTO launch, which is Geosynchronous Transfer Orbit. What that means is this satellite is going to go so high up into space and it's so fast that it's going to sit over one spot and it'll never move from that one spot. Something like the space station is orbiting the Earth, and some of the lower satellites will orbit the Earth. This one will sit in one spot above a location and always be there. So like TV satellites, like if you remember those giant TV satellites people would have in their yard, they would point them up in the sky. It's because there's a satellite that they're pointing at that never moves. It's up in the sky. Same deal. So that's a GTO launch. That's the word I'm looking for. Geosynchronous transfer orbit. Geosynchronous transfer orbit. There you go. Hey Jack, how's it going? Flabbercorn, it's going great. We watched the SpaceX launch. It was awesome. Josh the Josher, you're gonna have to see the next heavy launch here in Florida. I think in the fall. Rumor is October right now for the next Falcon Heavy launch, which I would love to see. I missed the first one. I was actually I came back from Australia, and it was the day after I came back from Australia. I almost landed and then immediately flew to Florida to go see it, but I couldn't pull it off. I thought for sure it would scrub. I'd be like, oh yeah, I can come back later. Scrubbing is when a satellite doesn't launch. Like they scrub the launch attempt. So that means basically they abandon it that day and like they abort it that day and then try it again. So it's scrub. If you ever hear a rocket scrubbed, it means they fail to launch it. Not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it's weather based, like it's too windy up in the upper atmosphere where when it gets up there, the rocket could get off course. Sometimes it's a problem with like the fairings or a problem with something on the actual ship. Could be anything. But yeah, if you ever hear scrub, that's what that term is. Texas Dog Mama, thank you very much for that. Brand new Warden by the power of the Beard Rebonded. Appreciate you. If when you visit LI, you should check out the Cradle of Aviation in Garden City and maybe do a meetup for RT fans wardens. What is LI? Zach B. But yes, I would love to. Cradle of Aviation in Garden City, Florida. Is that Florida? FL? Is that what it's supposed to be? No, I don't know what that is. Can't wait for the day to hire orbital drone pilots to pick up Maru space trash. DJ Kento Live. So the way it works right now is the majority of satellites that die, that run out of fuel or just kind of expend their life cycle, they will slowly start decaying. Their orbits start decaying because they run out of energy because they have to keep themselves up. So basically, the way something orbits, it's basically flying away from Earth faster than it's falling to Earth. And it just keeps, the gravity of Earth just keeps pulling at it, and it just keeps moving fast enough to not fall. Eventually, over time, it will fall because you'll lose energy, you'll lose momentum. If you don't have energy to push yourself, it's going to start falling, and once it hits the atmosphere, typically they burn up in the atmosphere. So if you ever been outside and see like something like really like it looks like an asteroid exploding, and not exploding, but like catching fire and sort of disappearing, that's space junk burning up. Hey Jack, your shirt is out of this world. Yeah, it's my NASA Death Star shirt. Glad you caught it. Josh, oh damn, I hope it's in October. I saw you the last one you were here. That night launch was amazing. Oh yeah. Oh, that was you, Josh. Hey, yeah, I met Josh at a launch, like a midnight launch, actually, another light launch. That was a lot of fun. Irony, good night. Take care. Long Island. Okay, Zach, thank you. Man, I haven't been to. I love New York, so going to Long Island's lots of fun. I could do that. Tech Cyborg Slug, all those poor dead animals in orbit. Well, I mean, there's not as many anymore now, but yeah, the start, absolutely. KS Miz, are NASA a federal agency and SpaceX a private company linked or working together? Is SpaceX the new NASA? That's a fantastic question. SpaceX is a privately owned company. It's majority owned by Elon Musk, who is known from Tesla. He's got a start at PayPal. He also owns Solar City, which just merged with Tesla as well. The Boring Company. It's a privately owned company. They work with NASA. So NASA has contracted SpaceX to do launches for them. So they've basically contracted SpaceX to help supply the space station. What that means is they work directly with the government. There's certain like qualifications, things that you have to do in order to like attach to a space station, which is a government-owned entity. So there's like secret stuff there. But NASA is working with SpaceX to eventually put humans in space on the top of SpaceX rockets. Right now, the only way to get to the space station is through Russia. At least that's what America does. I think China also has a launching capability as well to put humans in space. But anytime you see an American go to space, they left from Russian soil. Hopefully that won't be the case for much longer. The target is right now, I think, December for the first Crew Dragon test, which is the well, okay, take it back. First time we'll see humans in space will be next year. It'll be 2019. But so right now there's the capsule that SpaceX has made is called the Dragon. The Dragon 1 was the big one. That was their first one. They started launching supply stuff. The Dragon 2 is the one that they've developed specifically for humans to also be able to go in it and go up to the space station. So if you ever hear about the Dragon 2, that's the crewed version of the Dragon capsule. They also can uncrew them. They don't need people inside of them. They're all autonomous. So they're currently using Dragon 2s right now in testing. Those are the I take it back. They haven't used any Dragon 2s yet. They are coming very soon though. I think the first one's in Florida right now, as a matter of fact. Anyway, that will be the capsule that eventually humans will go in and go up to space. NASA has asked SpaceX to do, I think, 7 missions proving that they can use that capsule and their rocket. They need 7 flawless missions basically before they'll allow them to put humans inside of it and launch it up to space. Boeing is also working with NASA right now on the SLS, which is the Space Launch System, and that's another rocket that eventually will put people towards Mars. That one's in conjunction with the government and Boeing, so NASA is working directly with them on that. SpaceX is also trying to get to Mars using their Falcon Heavy and also their BFR, which is the Big Falcon rocket, or the ITS, Interplanetary Transport System, a bunch of different acronyms. So right now it's kind of a race to see who gets to Mars first. Mars is kind of funky because you can really only go there about every 2 years. Like the launch window is such that the planets align in such a way that you can only make it to Mars feasibly if you launch during a certain, like, I think it's like a 3-month window every 2 years where they line up in a way where you could get there and they're not going to be like, you know, on the polar, like on the opposite sides of the sun from each other. Because, I mean, Mars moves at a slower pace. The year is longer than Earth. It's like 400 days versus Earth's 300. And so they have to like basically work their way around where they're close to each other and then back around and they're close to each other, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that was a bunch of questions. Anyway, SpaceX is a privately owned company. They do work with NASA. NASA is a government, or it's government-owned company, or it's a section of the government. Second engine startup occurring in T+26. Oh, we're actually pretty close. You guys kept me talking for a good amount of time. I'll keep answering questions. Zachary, I'd love to cover your ticket to the cradle. It's literally the least I can do for my favorite achievement hunter. Oh, Zach, I appreciate that, man. Maybe next time I'm up there. Have you been to the California Science Center in Los Angeles? I have not, Flabbercorn. I would love to, though. Anytime I can go check out space stuff, I'm always up for it. The last time I was in, where was I? I was in England, and I went to the museum up there, and they had a bunch of rocket stuff. It was really cool. And they actually mentioned SpaceX, which was really neat. And also, there's another private company in England trying to launch a rocket into space. I can't think of the name of it for the life of me. There's one in New Zealand called, I think, Electron. They're doing the same thing where they're trying to launch people into space eventually. I think they had their first couple tests recently. Seemed to have gone pretty well. Space Force, am I right? Yes, Goldie. Space Force, that's the thing. KS Miz, yes, you did. You guys are talking about something I love too. Thanks. You got it, man. Tech Cyborg Slug, have you played Surviving Mars? I haven't, Tech. I haven't. Sounds cool, though. Sounds like a lot of fun. Killer, how was Achievement Hunter? It was a lot of fun. We filmed 2 episodes this week. I was only in the first episode, and I had a lot of fun doing it, and you'll see the results of it at some point. We haven't announced dates or anything, but I think we might announce dates at RTX, the idea of it, so... Gilded Lily Aaron, you should see what the planets sound like from in space. Wild. See what the planet... I'm assuming that's in a video game? I don't know how planets would sound. Alright, here we go. So here's the return. So this is stage 2 right here. So they're going to relight the engine, which basically push it further and kind of aim it towards its final trajectory, excuse me. That's Earth. This is Earth right here. You see how quickly this thing's moving. They'll have a actual... They should have a speed up here in a second. You'll see how quickly this thing's moving. So it's currently over the Horn of Africa. And if you're curious how they can see video feed from different points of the Earth, like right now, it's over Africa. You know, the Earth is round, so line of sight means satellites. You know, you can't have a station on Earth looking at that satellite. They actually have different stations scattered throughout the planet. So there are some. There's one in Madagascar. There's one in Bermuda. I want to say there's one in the Congo. Like there's a bunch of them. So there's a bunch of different satellite basically stations that they link up with. So there's one like over here, like down here in Madagascar. There's one over here somewhere, and like I don't know my African areas. Jesus. Geography. Thank you. I was almost saying geology. Geography. The Earth is flat. So we're at 26,500 kilometers an hour. How many miles is that? Let's see here. They're about to turn on the engine again. It's going to boost it even faster. What is it? 1.6 kilometers in an hour or in a mile? So we're at 26485 divided by what is it? 1600. So 1.6. So it's traveling at 16,000 miles an hour right now. If you're curious about that, 16,500 miles an hour. Thank you. Phantom's got it too. Kasfar also got it. Here we go. So the second engine is starting up again. Immediately, boom, up to 27,000 miles an hour. So now it's speeding up. It's taking its payload actually up higher into space because the geosynchronous transfer orbits are much higher in space than the lower orbits. So it's actually going up. So here we go. It's at 30,000 kilometers an hour right now. Wow. That's pretty awesome right there. So it's moving fast. This is kind of basically it's taking the last bit of its energy and it's boosting it. It's pushing everything it's got. It's emptying the tank, getting up as high as it can. So the engine has stopped. You can see 30,400 kilometers an hour is its final speed. So now it's just basically floating. So the engine's done. It's going to coast a little bit more, and then it will deploy, which means it will release the satellite into space. So we're coming up on that probably about 3 minutes away. Jenna Day, what do you think of Jeremy's tweet about not being a skeptic right after the Haunter shoot? I was there for some of his stuff. There was some weird stuff happened to him, man. But to each their own. You know, it's kind of everyone has their own sort of beliefs and thoughts going into it. Hopefully we'll find something. I'm legit trying to find something. Like I'll be honest, I don't really believe in ghosts. Doesn't mean I'm not going to try. So, Sarah Giles, going away from the space talk. What do you think of San Diego Comic-Con that you've seen or heard about? Also love you. Hope to meet you one day. Sarah. Shazam trailer looked really good. Very interesting. I like that they're kind of having more fun with the their sort of DC universe. DC universe has been very dark, and so it looks like they're having a good time with it and kind of goofing around. So I'm thinking like Flash kind of vibes to it. So I'm hoping to see that. Glass looks incredible. The trailer for Glass was just absolutely amazing. Super, super excited for that one. I was a huge fan of Unbreakable, and Split was really good. But Unbreakable is my favorite M. Night movie, so I'm excited for that. What else? The Aquaman trailer didn't really impress me. Looked very odd, like oddly colorful. Like I know DC's always been gritty and dark, but like they've been trying to add color, but it's almost too colorful. It just looks strange, like not polished right. So, the Planet that Sounds from Space is a YouTube video I found one day. Oh, Gilded. Okay, Gilded Lily Aaron. Thank you very much for that. I'll check that out. Phantoms isn't that about what Earth's speed is? Yes. So that's the idea. They're trying to get it up to speed. It will continue speeding up until it matches that orbit speed. So it's basically it's gonna take probably another 2 months or so before it gets to its final resting place, the satellite that is. But they want to get it super high. All right, so we're gonna see if we can get a feed here to watch the satellite deploy. He said something. Hang on, let me hear that again.
So it appears we've got some light signal from our ground stations, so we're waiting until that communication channel stabilizes and we can get full confirmation that the second burn did shut down. So we'll let you know as soon as we have more data here in a moment.
All right, so they're waiting to hear. Oh. It just sped up again, oddly. Weird. So they're having some issues. So right now, yeah, so the ground station in Madagascar, I guess, is trying to link to the satellite right now, which is weird. Do they show them ever recovering the Stage 1 rocket? Well, Gina Day, if you were here earlier, they actually landed it. So, oh, there you go. There's a view. So the engine stopped. That's a good sign. Yeah, Gina Day. So they actually they landed a rocket today on the Stage 1 on Of Course I Still Love You, which is the drone ship they have out in the Atlantic Ocean. Sometimes they'll return them all the way to launch site, which is basically they land them about 9 miles away from they take off. But yeah, so right here, this is the second stage. This has the satellite on top of it, and so we're waiting for deploy, which is probably 30 seconds away, and we'll see if they release the Telstar 19V into outer space, and then that will be an entirely successful mission. They launched a rocket, separated cleanly. First stage landed, second stage went to its location, and now they're about to deploy the satellite, which you'll see is going to look, and this slowly float away. Ideally, that's what you want to see. Didn't someone say Achievement Hunter got a camera always rolling in the office? Yes. Lighty Agami, yes, we have a camera now that's always in the office. Doesn't have audio. It's just a video camera, just to catch goofy stuff that we miss. Sir Jeff Vader Westel, what do you think about the launch that Blue Origin recently conducted? Do you think they'll be able to catch and compete with SpaceX? That's a great question, man. I don't know if they will. I mean, they're trying to. Blue Origin is another company that's launching space. They're launching and relaunching satellites. Oh, here we go. So here we go. So that's the satellite right there you're looking at, and it hopefully will disconnect and go flying off. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it goes. Bye. There it goes. So that is the Telstar 19V. There is its solar panel right there. So that will extend and turn towards the sun. And power it. It's got a little booster here that'll basically help push it into this right location. So there you go. That is an entirely successful mission for SpaceX right there. That is freaking awesome. The Stage 2 just burned up on re-entry. Phantoms, yes. As of right now, yes. Their goal is to eventually get it where they can actually catch, or they can either like catch it or it can land or something. As of right now, Stage 2 just torches, unfortunately. But other than that, pretty much everything else on the Falcon 9 is reusable. Stage 1 is entirely reusable. The fairings are doing their best to catch it. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. That's a beautiful shot of Stage 2. So Stage 2 will eventually slowly return to Earth and then catch fire. So there you go. Let's put this back at the front. So here's the fairing I was talking about earlier. So it's this thing over the top. So this is what covers the satellite. So the satellite's sitting in here somewhere, and this goes around it. Basically, you could put a school bus in that, and it would have plenty of room. It's pretty wild. What else? So congratulations, SpaceX, on a successful launch. It was a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this. It's something a little new. I enjoy doing this stuff, trying to answer questions. I'm not like the most knowledgeable guy. I know a little bit. You should check out Everyday Astronaut. That dude, he has tons of videos up on his channel, his YouTube channel, that are just great. It's a lot of fun to watch his stuff, and he kind of like simplifies it really, really good. So I would check out his stuff if you can. Let's see here. Yeah, but I think that's it. Morning, Jack. I've never been able to see you because never seen you stream live because England. How are you? I'm good. Latita Lemon, thank you very much for coming. I'm good. You should check out my YouTube channel. All my archives are up there. All the streams I do are up there. So go check that out. I watched a rocket go to space. Sadie, that's how I feel every freaking time I watch rockets take off. I love these things, man. Phantoms, love the newest Minecraft video, and you were fantastic. Thank you very much. Which Minecraft is it? I don't even know. Thank you, though. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Check out Scott Manley too. Yes, yes. A yo-yo. Yes, check that out. So anyway, all right. Oh, Candyland. Oh yeah, Candyland was fun. God, that was a rough one. Launch a disco ball into space. I wouldn't put it past them. The first thing that SpaceX launched into space and returned to space was a wheel of cheese. So that was their first. Like they usually put an analog. They usually put something in a capsule to like test it. So the first time they did was a wheel of cheese, and then of course in the Falcon Heavy they launched a car, which is freaking awesome. So. Are you going to get back into Sky Factory? I'll just fix my PC and I can play it now. Flabricorn. I don't know about Sky Factory. Maybe Sky Factory 4 when that hits. But 3 I think I'm kind of done with. I'm looking to play some more Minecraft, though, pretty soon. I literally just wrapped up Jurassic World Evolution tonight. I finished it all. All I have left is the sort of create your own island thing. And so I might play a little bit of that, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with it. I think I'm done. So I think I'm going to jump back into some Minecraft and play something. Either maybe what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe I might check out Galacticraft or something else, some new mod pack. If you have any recommendations, feel free to email me, jacklikesthings@gmail.com. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do, though. Oh, I'm sorry. Elu Sam, I'm sorry. I missed your sub. I apologize that. Oh, there it is. Elu Sam. Oh, thank you very much. By the power of the beer, we're bonded. Sorry, my bad. Tech the Cyborg Slug, Space Age Cheese. Yes, yes, absolutely. All right. I just tweeted you some very good haunts on Lion if you ever do Achievement Hunter outside of Texas. Well, the first one from this season, we shot in Louisiana, so we are doing them outside of Texas. Hey, Lia Rose, 845. Thank you very much, Lia Rose. 10 months in a row. By the power of the beard, we're bonded. All right, folks. It's 1:30 in the morning. I'm going to call it right there. Thank you very much for watching me watch a rocket take off. Let's watch it boost off again. Where's the countdown? Let's watch it take off one more time. This is if you're watching this live right now, I'm watching the archive of the stream, or I'm scrubbing back so I can actually. Come on, stop that. There we go. We got 1 minute left. So again, thank you very much everyone for coming out tonight and watching some SpaceX. I freaking love watching rocket launches. Hope you do too. Absolutely subscribe to their channel. SpaceX subreddit is awesome. I love watching that over there. Love reading that stuff. Those guys are so smart over there. It's a lot of fun. If you're interested, check out NASA Social. I got to go see a rocket launch last year because of NASA Social. They'll tweet about it. I do my best to retweet it anytime they do have an availability to go watch something. Apply, see if you can get in. I'd just like to let you know my name is pronounced Sarah, and it's like Triceratops. Okay, Sarah Giles. Okay, well, thank you very much, Sarah Giles. I was close. I wasn't sure if it was Sarah or Kara, so Sarah it is. All right, here goes a rocket. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. Look at that thing. The amount of force behind that is just incredible. That's awesome. I love watching those. All right. I'm going to go. I'm going to get some rest. Thank you very much. If you randomly stumbled in here, don't always watch SpaceX launches. The first one of these I've done. I really enjoyed it, though. It was a lot of fun. I play a lot of, Jurassic World, like Minecraft. I think I'm going to get back into World of Warcraft, maybe some Siege. We'll see. Lots of cool stuff. But anyway, you should check out my channel, youtube.com/JackPattillo as well. You can go there and check out my archives. I upload everything there. And yeah, so if you stumbled in, hopefully you give me a follow at least. That'd be great. If you are following, maybe someday you'll be a warden, because the wardens are the best people on this planet. I love them so very, very much. And yeah, Christian, Kasvara, Zard. I saw Kasvara in here late night tonight. So thank you very much. Those are my mods. They're great. I love them. All right, and I always say, if you're out there, please take care of yourself. You're very special to me, so take care of yourself, make sure you're okay. But if you have the means to, take care of each other too. Let's make this planet a better place than what we started with. We only have one planet until Elon and SpaceX take us to Mars. Then that's a whole other bag of chips. So, all right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get some rest. Congratulations, SpaceX. Thank you, everyone, for watching. It's lots of fun. I love doing this stuff. I love this. I'll see you very, very soon. And as always, remember, by the power of the beard, we are bonded. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye. Good night. Bye.